This is the Masters of Fitness podcast.
All right, welcome everyone to the Masters of Fitness podcast, episode 29 with Tony Houchin. Yes, I didn't want to mess your name up, but I got it right. Tony Houchin, the head cross-country coach at Lamar University. And what else do you do?
I'm the Associate Director of Track and Field.
Associate Director of Track and Field. So we got Mr. The Science. He's going to teach us today about running, right? Isn't that right?
Well, I don't know if how much I'm going to teach. I'm going to tell you what we do. But
you don't know what to teach. Hey, but once again, thank you for joining the show. We hope to have a good one today. Hope you guys leave a little bit more educated about running. Once again, I got my partner in crime, Mr. Thad King. Say what's up to the people, Thad.
Hey, doing all right today, Ernest?
Living, you know how it is. Busy weekend.
Yeah.
So before I move on, I have did you know they have a new Triangle Nutrition place just opened up? I just passed by it and saw open up right next to crossing that Mexican restaurant by where Harmon Academy is.
Oh, that little bitty place right there on the corner?
Yeah, little bitty place. They just opened up today. It had a huge line. So I think I know the guy. So I sent him a message and told him we'll give him a shout out on the show tonight, man. So
yeah,
so all you people, man, go check out Triangle Nutrition.
That's one of those Herbalife nutrition places, right?
Yeah, they have I don't know if it's healthy waffles, healthy donuts. I'm not gonna put them out there like that, but healthy waffles, healthy donuts, healthy teas, protein shakes, energy drinks. Their biggest moniker is you get an energy drink from us, you don't get that special crash.
Yeah.
So go check those people out at Triangle Nutrition, man. Real good local business. We always about support local business, so go check them out. Now jumping into the show, Mr. Tony.
Hey, hold on a minute.
Hold on. I just ran. Me and Cecilia just ran.
Oh
man, I'm sorry.
100 miles. 100 miles for the month of January, and you're just going to start the show and not want to talk to me or nothing.
Let me apologize for this. So
How many times you run 100 miles in 1 month?
Never. I'm going to give Thad the spotlight. Let's see, you get 2 minutes to talk about your running journey. So why did you partake in this running journey? I'm going to interview you today.
Right. So we got started in this 100-mile challenge. It was for soldier suicide awareness. And I didn't do it, but Cecilia did. They actually had a little deal where you could set up your own fundraiser and everything, and she raised over $300, like $325 or something like that.
That's great.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right. So, but we worked at it, man, every day, every single day. There was one day we ran in the rain. It kind of brought back some old memories, but it was fun, man. I mean, we really had a good time doing this challenge. Like I put on Facebook that I've done a lot of goofy challenges through the years, all kinds of goofy things. But this one, I actually enjoyed this challenge. I really did.
And it's been some crazy weather a couple of these weekends. So how did you manage to run in the sleet? It was one weekend when it was bad. It was cold. It was icy and raining. I saw you, Cecilia, and those po dogs out there running that back trail. Cold as it is.
Man,
we just sleep.
I don't know, man. It was just weird. We just put our shoes on and took off. No matter what the weather was, we were going to get it done.
And so that's what the world famous David Goggins always said. It's one thing to be motivated and be obsessed. Yeah. You're motivated is a flighting feeling. You're motivated to work out, but then are you motivated to run? Then you go outside and it's cold and it's raining. So now that motivation is gone. But when you're obsessed, it oversees the motivation. You're going to get it done regardless. So that's good stuff. So what's your plan for next month? 200 miles?
Man, I don't know. I was hoping I was going to come on the.
You can't be.
I was hoping I was going to come on the show and announce what we're going to do in February.
It's a
but
shorter month too.
It's only 28 days. So
right,
I don't know. We're going to figure something out.
You can't be. Masters of Fitness is not a one-trick pony. So you can't come out here and be a one-trick pony now. But that's good stuff, man. 100 miles. It was for a good cause. I think Cecilia added me to the group. Yeah. It was a 100-mile group. Yeah. I actually need to. I'm pretty sure I didn't get 100 miles, but I'll calculate my miles up and see what I got.
What app do you record yours on?
Nike Plus.
It's on there.
Peloton running, all that stuff like that. So whatever it is. So back to the star, since Thad stole the spotlight.
Yeah.
For
Thank you.
Get him off his soapbox. Let's get back to Mr. Tony Houchin. Thank you for joining the show today, man. Lamar University representing. Local celebrity and a running Local celebrity. Hey, anytime that's a what? 4 times Southland Conference Coach of the Year. You said
For men's cross country.
for men's cross country. For men's cross country. So that's some good stuff. So tell the people about yourself, what you do at Lamar, and Tell people about yourself.
Yeah, well, this is my 6th year at Lamar University, and I'm just really fortunate to be part of a program that has a long history of winning, conference championships. We've been very, very good, and I feel like I'm just a cog in a already well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a good bit of winning before I got here.
Okay.
Lucky I haven't screwed it up. So.
Hey, sometimes you get the keys to the Lamborghini. You just got to drive it and don't wreck it. A lot of people can't drive a Lamborghini though, so you got to give yourself a pat on the back for that.
Fair, that's fair. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, so before you came to Lamar, kind of give everybody your journey into cross country and how did it all get started.
Well, this was the only sport I kind of did growing up.
Okay.
My parents never took me to T-ball. I didn't play Little League or Pop Warner or do anything like that. I wasn't a very fit kid. So I remember I tried out for like 7th grade track, and that kind of wet my palate a little bit to the sport. So I just kind of got into running and stuck with it. And then I turned out to be pretty good once I got into high school in Oklahoma. Ran at Oklahoma State, and I was terrible on the team. It was a really good team, so I was really lucky. Coach Weiss, Dick Weiss at Oklahoma State, he was my coach.
Hold on, let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
You went to Oklahoma State?
I did.
What year did you finish?
99.
99, okay. I'm a Sooner. That's why.
Oh,
that's why I say that.
We all got our faults.
Yeah, we all got our faults. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'll let you continue. So I was gonna wear my Oklahoma hoodie today, but I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. So I'll leave it alone. So
I was thinking he was being real quiet about that.
Right? I didn't know that.
I never let stuff like that slide.
Now, when were you there?
I was there from 2001 to 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
was there 94 to 99.
Okay.
I ran, like I said, I was terrible though. Coach Weiss had a big enough heart not to kick me off the team. So, but then I must have done something right because I was hired on as a graduate assistant coach for 3 years.
Okay. So when you say terrible, what does that mean?
No, we were a legitimately good team.
Okay.
We were 3rd when I was a sophomore, 3rd at the national championships when I was a
Wow.
sophomore.
Okay.
We were 4th when I was a junior, and I was not part of that top 7. So yeah. Like I said, but I got to see a lot. Got to see the ups and the downs of a season, and I was really lucky to see how guys developed throughout the rigors of a competitive NCAA season. So then I went on to be, like I say, a GA coach at OSU for 3 years, and I was not good. The only time I ever scored at the conference meet was when I was on a relay, so I was probably getting carried by other guys. For being honest.
So for those who don't know, when you say scored, how does the cross-country meet set up, and how does one win state, and how does it all work?
Well, now, I only scored on the track.
The track,
I was not good enough to make varsity cross-country there. We were like elite good.
Okay.
So, but for cross-country, the way it scores is the most you can run during the championship season is 7 guys, and the top 5 score.
Okay.
And then the lowest score wins. So let's say a team finishes 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You add those up, that's 15. So a perfect score is 15.
Okay. So what do you mean by the lowest time?
No, not lowest time, lowest score.
Lowest score. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Lowest score. Lowest
That's
overall
right.
score. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. So transitioning out of track, what made you want to be a coach?
At first I just wanted to be a high school teacher and high school coach and stuff. But after seeing guys train and live like on the elite level, I don't know, it really sparked an interest in me, and that's the level that I wanted to kind of teach at. And I was lucky that I had a good template to learn from at OSU and other places. So,
do you still use some of those aspects today in your coaching?
Oh my gosh, 100%, 100%, yeah, for sure. And that was a while ago now. So,
But running is running, right? Is there any,
right.
How has it running changed since you ran to now in regards to like the science behind it and understanding?
That's a good question. A lot of the old school coaches, they ran hard a lot more frequently. Now there's a lot more of an emphasis on recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So you space out work a little bit more, and then maybe you temper down a lot of the work it is that you do a lot more. So we used to run. When I say we, I mean the good guys on the team. They would run.
Hey, look, you got to put that was so long ago. You got to put yourself in them. Like, look, I was on the national. I was on the top team.
Define running hard.
Yeah.
So they would go, like, for example, they would run long runs. So we would go and run anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours, and they'd go somewhere between 6 minutes and 6:20, 6:30 a mile. And long runs weren't the intense runs.
Yeah.
Like, so we would do Friday tempo runs. We do 10-mile tempo runs, and they would go, I don't know, when they were really cooking, they would go, 52:30 for 10 miles.
Hold on. 10 miles at 52.
Yeah, like 5:15 or so
Man.
pace, like right in there.
Dang, they must be wearing some special shoes or something, huh?
Not back then. Ain't no special shoes back then.
I'm trying to wrap my rhyme.
Yeah.
My fastest mile ever ran was a 5:59,
Yeah.
and I died. I laid in the grass of my neighbors and just was there for 30 minutes.
It's all right.
So how do you build up the capacity to run that far? Maybe I'm jumping. Maybe you'll get into it. Maybe I'm jumping a little bit far ahead. But how does one build up that capacity? Is it something you just get, or is it?
Well, to be fair, not everybody is capable of doing those things that those guys did.
Okay.
The thing everybody does have the capability of doing is improving. And, it's all based on aerobic development.
Okay.
And the more you do, much like what you guys do with your CrossFit, the more you do something, you're going to get better at it over time. Either you're going to get better with technique, and you'll see that with runners too. The more you run, your body is going to fall into its greatest form of efficiency, like especially if you're working on it a little bit, if you're doing drills. But at the same time, the more you do it, as your aerobic capacity improves, you're going to be able to, you're just going to find your self-improving over time.
So you're saying I'll be able to run that if I keep training really, really hard.
Maybe. I'm not going to put limits on anyone.
Don't put limits on me.
That's
Yeah,
it,
okay.
right?
So,
But
go ahead, Thad.
how much would you say that somebody that kind of talent somebody is born with?
That's a good question. That's so hard to say
because you start getting into the different muscle group types,
right. Muscle fiber types. Yeah.
Right.
Hold up, I'm gonna jump in real quick and. I'm sorry, did I interfere with your question?
No.
No,
go
okay.
ahead.
So just as we get into it, Nicole Wooten has a coach and say, how do
there
you
we
get over that 10-mile hump? My body starts to give up every time.
Yeah. So that's hard to.
So what's giving
Comment
up?
on.
Is she running out of energy? Does she start hurting?
Knowing
Right.
Nicole, Nicole is a good friend of mine. I would say running out of energy.
Okay,
Running
so
out of
like you're
energy.
just slowing down.
Slowing down. Yeah, just can't mentally break that barrier.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, you do have to go longer at times, and sometimes you just got to break it up, and you got to be more consistent with training. And like say, as your aerobic capacity improves, you're going to find yourself more capable, just at the activity in general.
Oh, okay. All right. So just stand with it.
That's what I think. Yep.
So once you get to that 10-mile mark, you just force yourself to go more than 10, or just based off how your body feels, or how.
Well, here's the thing: it's hard to comment because it depends on your specific goal.
Okay.
Whether or not if you've got a specific goal for that 10 miles, it's how you approach that goal. It might very well be that she, and much like other people do, she's starting off too fast in the early
okay.
stages.
Yeah.
So the way I do things and the way I try to get guys to race and the way I get guys to train, you want the end to be your fastest, not the beginning. So a lot of times people, they're okay with starting out fast and then letting their the pace degrade throughout the course of the activity, whereas really you want to finish aggressively.
Yeah.
She said. She said, "I hurt."
It's okay, but the more you hurt today,
Right.
the more you're going to be able to hurt tomorrow. You also increase your pain threshold a little bit. Right.
All right, good. Hey, so I would be remiss if I didn't go too far ahead, but somebody just gave it a shout out, so we'll jump right into it. They love the RES sports drinks, right?
ERS sports drink, yep.
So tell the people about this. This is a little snippet about it. You brought some in. I said I'll do a live taste test on that.
Oh,
So
here
you
we
say
go.
you stand by it. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
I love it.
So as you're talking about it, I'm gonna turn my mic down and take a test because I
Do
want
it.
people to hear me gulping this stuff down. So
Right. So as much as I commented earlier about how there's much more of an emphasis on recovery, part of that increased emphasis of recovery is nutrition. And the proximity that you put in nutrition after intense bouts of activity are very important. Not only the time that you put good nutrition in, it's also what kind of nutrition you put in. So a friend of mine put me onto this, and it's a startup company. It's a small company, but they are, this is a great recovery drink formula. Most people walk around with some kind of a deficiency in omega-3 fats in the body. Also, this has great ingredients in that it's got collagen, carnitine, whey protein, and it's all natural fruit juice. And you don't have to shake it.
But it's a natural habit. That's our natural habit to shake it up.
That's right. Yep. But everything kind of emulsifies in it, so it's actually a solid.
Man, this is legit good. It tastes like real berry. Is this a berry flavor?
That's right. Yep.
Okay, you can taste the natural berries in it because it's not. When you taste the artificial sugars, it overburdens you. This is more like a natural taste, natural feel.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm
glad.
Hey,
and
this is real.
It's so different. Yeah, like for a protein drink, especially for like a recovery drink, so often times it's chocolate or vanilla. So I think that this is nice because it's a little lighter.
It's easy on the stomach. Chocolate or vanilla, it seems so heavy, and it's
right.
Yeah, so there's some good stuff.
It is. Yep.
All right, so that was so she brought it up, so we brought it up. I said I was gonna taste test it. This some legit. This stuff tastes really good, and it's like you said, when you're running, you don't want nothing heavy.
That's right.
On you. You want something quick. Pop the Gatorade, kill this real quick, and get going.
That's right.
Especially it has 25 grams of carbohydrates. So yeah.
Yep.
There's some good stuff.
There's not a ton of sugars in it.
Yeah.
But it also has the 20 grams of protein.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's enough what you need while you're running and doing the recovery stuff. No, good stuff. And Nicole, maybe that's the reason why proper recovery and nutrition too could help you push over the edge, right?
And and also like for the longer bouts, like for some people, like these guys that I was talking about, the high level athletes, when they go and run 10 miles, they're going 53, 55 minutes. Well, if it's taking you 90 minutes to 2 hours to do 10 miles, well, you need to make sure that you fuel during the activity, much like you would in a race, in a marathon. They've got hydration tables,
every
and you can put in
yeah.
calories. And I'm also a big advocate of caffeine. I think and not for the everybody thinks you take the caffeine for this energy burst, but that's not why. More, I like the caffeine for the amount of focus that it gives you during the activity, because your mind wanders, you kind of let up a little bit, but it allows you to kind of stay tuned in.
That's some good stuff. So
yeah, I agree with that. Where can you find this?
It's sold online, so they're not in retail stores. If you just look up ERS sports drink, it's online. They have an Instagram page, a Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now it's direct to consumer.
Okay, good stuff. No, this is legit good. I want some of this. First off, I'm a sucker for anything that tells me I'm gonna do better. Even if it's a placebo, it'll make me feel like I'm running better.
For sure.
I'm all for it. So.
Plus, it's easy.
That's right. Grab and go. Right.
Grab and go.
You don't gotta mix anything.
Man said you don't even have to shake it up.
All right.
But it's a natural habit to shake it up. You even say that extra second. So
it
makes it fun.
So transitioning back a little bit. Yep. So as you look at athletes, you say you do a lot of recruiting, right, all over the world.
Gosh, yeah.
So what do you say? Let's start off the difference between, would you say, running cross country in high school as compared to running on a college level?
Right. So, yeah. So when a student athlete at the high school level, when they've run at a certain time, it's easy to kind of recruit globally, because if somebody's run a certain time for a 5K, regardless of where it is they've run it, that's what they've run. I mean, you do have to look at certain other factors, like if a kid happens to run, if a kid's from Colorado or something, they've run that at altitude, so obviously the performance is diminished because of the altitude. Or like if somebody down here, we got the poor man's altitude in Southeast Texas. We got
humidity.
That's right. Yeah. We got the humidity.
Sweet humidity.
That's right. So like sometimes you got to factor that. Like a kid from Florida, that performance might be diminished compared to somebody that's, say, from, I don't know, California.
Okay.
Or like at the same time, somebody that's from abroad, and we recruit quite heavily on the international front in my program.
And so do y'all just look at times, or is it like it just flat out, if you got a good time, you're going to be an elite college runner?
That's the start.
Or do you say to take some other things into aspect?
we look at a lot of different things. And, in the recruiting process, you have a conversation with the kid, And you can tell a lot by the kinds of questions that they ask, what it is they're looking for. If they're looking for stuff or whatever, or if they're asking kind of somewhat skeptical questions of our training, then they might not have an open mind to doing things a different way.
Okay,
right.
yes.
And so for me, like, I'm a big believer, as you guys know, like masters of fitness, you just said at the beginning of the conversation, you got to be good at a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to know that there's more than one way to get to the same end point.
Yes.
There's not just one road. So a lot of student athletes out there, like, if they're open to trying things different, I think they're going to be very, very successful.
Okay.
Yep. You can't pigeonhole yourself into one way or one method.
Wonderful thing. You say you could pick up on that just from those conversations that
That's
you
right.
have.
Yep,
Okay.
From the questions that they ask and the way they respond to the things I say, I'm like, I think we'd be a good fit.
Okay.
And more than anything, you want somebody that, you want somebody that, hates losing. They hate losing more than they like winning. So,
Man, I know you do. You recruit literally just globally.
that's right.
And because I've known you for quite a while, and
You're one of the first people I met in Southeast Texas.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
This guy knows everybody.
For sure.
Yeah.
no, we were just at the same place. We went out there. Y'all go out there and train at Cattail Marsh on Sunday mornings.
That's right. Twice a week.
And that's where we run across them, is running out at Cattail Marsh on Sunday mornings.
That's right.
But some of these people have got to be just literally just shocked whenever they get here and try to run in this hot heat and humidity, huh?
100%. You take a kid, because I have a lot of kids, British kids, from England and things, and so when they get here, the heat is oppressive, and they don't, you can get used to the heat, but it doesn't go away, because with the humidity,
It just sits like it's sitting on your shoulders.
it gets worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, in a dry climate, when you sweat, your sweat evaporates,
Evaporates and it
dissipates
cools
the
you off.
Right.
Yes.
For us, it doesn't, and it ends up insulating your body to the heat that you're generating. So
Yeah.
So because of that, I have to alter the training in this environment over, say, when I coached at, even Birmingham, Alabama. It's worse
yeah.
here.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
So there's some of the worst humidity.
No, it's the worst.
The worst.
humidity.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, people
sure.
people always say that, but it can't be that bad. But it's like,
No, it's real.
but that was now that you say that, because I ran a half marathon in Plano,
Right.
and it was like, man, this is like fresh air. It was like breathing. It was like a whole new world. Because it was me and my buddies from Houston. It was like, man, the air was so fresh. Everything was so cool. And this was in August, and we was used to running like the dead of heat in Southeast Texas, and it's like you about to pass out. Brutal.
Yeah, and no matter how, even if you wake up early in August, like
Yeah.
you have to. It's a balance, because the earlier you wake up, the higher the humidity.
Right,
is.
that's what I was fixing to say. The earlier in the morning, the higher your humidity is.
So yeah, they do with the heat or humidity.
Right. So the sun cooks the humidity off.
Right.
So there you are.
Right. And then if you want to also talk about like the physiology of and the science of running. So if you consider per cubic foot of space, the oxygen saturation in a high humidity climate is going to be much less than in a dry climate.
Huh.
Because like if I had a glass of just a glass,
Yeah.
and it was halfway full of water, well, how much oxygen is in that glass? But then if the glass was completely empty, how much oxygen is in the glass? More.
Yeah.
So much like here, per cubic foot of space, there's humidity here in Southeast Texas, so it's occupied by water molecules.
Man.
See?
So the oxygen concentration's a little less.
That's why I have such a hard time breathing during workouts.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
See?
Yep. So
Problem solved.
Yep.
I think we got our soundbite, our clip for the show right there.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And so, like, my girlfriend, she coaches at the University of New Mexico.
Okay.
She's one of the ones commenting up on it.
which one is she?
Laura. So, Laura. Hey, Laura. So,
Hello, Laura. Oh, Laura, right there.
right. So, anyways, so I'll go visit her in Albuquerque, and I'll go run, and it's 5,000 feet altitude. I'll find that it is easier to run there than it is here oftentimes, even though
Really?
it's 5,000 feet. So then I went one time, like, I go off on tangents. Coaches are glorified storytellers.
No, hey,
so
no,
I'll tell a story.
tell a story. Yeah,
Right. So there's a kid on my team, really smart kid, Kyle Garcia. he and we were out running one time, and I brought this up to him. I was like, man, like I wish there was a way that we could kind of figure out the saturation of oxygen here compared to, I said, say like Albuquerque. So he went home, and after we were running, like I went and I ran a handful of miles with him when I could keep up, and he went home and he did the calculations for that day with the humidity and the temperature that day at that time, and he said he called me. He was like, yeah, Tony, you're right. There's less oxygen saturation in Southeast Texas today than there was in Albuquerque at that time. And I was like, all right, I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy. Yeah, this
I
is
mean,
some
I believe
legit
it.
stuff.
right.
Because I'm telling you, man, sometimes, and as much as I hate to say it, the older I get, the humidity really, really affects me. And I try to explain it to people because I feel like I'm breathing through a straw.
Sure.
Yes.
You know,
Like you feel like and it's like you just learn to deal with it.
It's tough.
You just learn to deal with it and just kind of, and you feel like you fighting your runs.
Right.
So,
Well, that's when you have to be really judicious about the pace that you're going.
Okay.
You got to be really careful because, like I said, whoever it was that was commenting about a 10-mile run, like if you go out too fast early in whatever, even if it's a 5K or whatever it is you're looking to do, boy, when it jumps on you,
it jumps on you. You can't.
it comes quick and it doesn't get off.
You can't get that monkey off your back.
because it
It's
brings your
there.
heart rate up
right.
with
It's
it.
there.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
there. So let's see. We got another question. Let's send one in. This one's from my wife. What happens when you're slow the whole time? How do you even begin to run long distances?
Well, yeah, you just got to keep going. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it. Like, and you got to be consistent with it. It's not about. So there was one time when I was a GA at Oklahoma State. I also worked in a specialty running store in Oklahoma City, the Runner, and people would come in all the time and they'd tell me like, "Oh, I'm training for a marathon." So I would always like, "Whoa, you must be running a ton." And they're like, "Yeah, I'm running like 30 miles a week." And I was like, that's not a ton.
Yeah.
And then they would tell me how their weeks were structured.
Yeah.
And they would do like 18 or 20 of that week all on one day. And I was
Yeah.
like, there's no consistency. It'd be better if they spread some
Spread
of
it
that
out.
work
Okay.
out throughout the course of the week. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. We got another question. What should parents do to help their student athletes who want to get to the next level?
That's a good question. Just support them,
Okay.
and the number one, and also don't try to railroad kids into doing one thing.
One thing.
Necessarily. Be a very well-rounded athlete. Support them, and also keep it fun. I think kids, happy runners run fast, and if you want to, keep them happy, keep them having fun, they're going to end up running fast. I believe.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth. Like I guess it was somebody wants to get my son. He's 6 years old to play select baseball. I say nope,
Not yet.
not yet. I want him to do. I got burned with my daughter with that. We just let him play all the sports and just focus on being a better athlete right now.
100%.
So that question actually leads us into the next topic: is when you get a runner in high school, how do you develop them further? As compared, so say if you have a top guy in college, what do you do to help that guy as compared to somebody who you just grab and say, I know I can make this person better? Do you have kind of the same approach with both?
Yep, a lot of it. To be honest, a lot of it's aerobic development. That's
Okay.
how I look at things. I think the more aerobically developed you are, the more of a workload volume, more your workload capacity is going to be. So, for me, I'm a big believer that most people need to do more. And more means something different for everybody. So if I got a kid, a very highly accomplished athlete out of high school that's only running 30 miles a week, well, more for that guy is going to be different than the guy that's coming to me who's run 80 miles a week.
Yeah.
So one guy, to improve, he probably just needs to run 35 or 40,
Yeah.
whereas the other guy who's come at me running 80, he might need to run 90 or 100. But it's kind of a step. And also, like, different people some people do have some biomechanical issues, so we put them through some sprint drills. We put them through some stretching. Some of them are just weak. So, we don't do a ton in the weight room. But we do some strengthening stuff, or we do some bounding. We do some exercise.
Plyometric type stuff.
Yep, some of that.
So no heavy squats.
No.
No heavy. Don't want too much muscle development in those legs. Huh?
That's right.
See, that's my problem. I squat too much.
Yeah, that's it.
It is. It probably is. If
Yeah.
you're looking to run fast,
So, what do you say to a parent who wants to get their kids into cross country? Like, how does one start with that?
I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea for it to be the parent's idea.
Okay.
You want it to be the kid's idea.
Kid's idea. Okay.
So yeah, if a kid says they want to do this, support them. And it's sometimes it's tough to get your head wrapped around because people aren't scoring points during the course of a race or whatever. You know what I mean? Some parents have a hard time wrapping their head around it. Especially
cross country running and long distance running. That's just
that too. Yeah.
That's just something that you just get a hankering for at one point in your life, man, and just pick it up. Yep.
It's either you like it or you don't, right?
Yeah, I feel like.
Yep. Sometimes and just support them, keep them having fun, and yeah, it'll be the kids' idea if they want to. Because if you try to push them into something, no matter what it is,
they're gonna be
push back.
They're gonna push back. You're not gonna want to do it. So they'll do it because you want them to do it, not because they genuinely love it.
Right.
And you got to love to run that much.
For sure.
So I didn't know too much about cross country when I was in high school.
Oh, right.
It seemed like they just took the guys who ran track and they just made those guys run cross country.
Yep. Sometimes. Yep.
So I know besides stating the obvious, sprinting versus distance running, what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, well, it's pretty big.
In regards to training, muscle structure, and all that good stuff.
Right. There's a lot that you could bring into that question. So yeah, they have different kinds of muscle fibers you talked about earlier. They're going to have a lot more fast twitch muscles and things like that. There's going to be more of it. Like them in the weight room, it's more vital for them to be in the weight room than for us.
Okay.
Now that being, and then the training volume is significantly different. So like for us, we'll go out on a Sunday. Kids will run 18 to 20 miles on my team. Right? Every Sunday.
On one day?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One run.
One run.
Yep. And then even on Fridays, that's our big day, we'll do a tempo run. So they'll do a 2-mile warm up, a 10-mile tempo run, and a 2-mile cool down. Whereas like a heavy sprint day might be something 3 times 350 meters. Well, they're not even running 50 seconds on each rep. But the amount that they're pushing,
the effort they putting out,
it might even be worse. I mean, because those kids they're throwing up and they're getting cramping up just from less than 3 minutes of work.
Yeah, basically you're comparing like a anaerobic to aerobic.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, their lactic levels shoot way up.
So how long would it take
How
long would it take you to make a sprinter into a distance runner? Can you ultimately flip that switch, or is it takes time?
I don't know about that one, huh, Tony?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people have done it. You never. I mean. But there's no formula for that necessarily. You know what I mean? That'd be hard to comment.
I can put it to you this way: I don't see Usain Bolt going out and running a half marathon.
I heard he doesn't even run miles.
I believe it.
Probably not.
He don't have to.
He don't need to. Yeah, I don't watch it. I run a while.
$7 million a year running 9 seconds.
So in reverse, can you make a cross country runner a sprinter? Which one would be easier? You think?
I think it would be easier to make a sprinter a distance runner.
Yep.
Really?
I agree.
Yep.
Why is that?
It's just I think it's easier. I mean, because all you got to do is slow down and go longer.
That is true. Okay, yeah. Instead of trying to go faster.
Right. Some people just don't have it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's an honest, good question, man. So, but I don't know. So you telling me I need to. What I'm getting from all this, if I want to improve my running, stop squatting as much. So at my training, I do distance runs, but I still do sprint. Should I just focus on those long runs, or how should I space that out?
Well, now you'd said you were focused on doing Ironman training.
Ironman training, yes.
Right? So that is so long. I mean, you got, what is it, 2.4 mile swim?
2.4 mile swim.
Then a 112-mile bike.
And a marathon.
And then a marathon.
Yes.
So you need to be hyper-focused on the aerobic threshold. And you don't want to be creating any lactic acid at all.
Okay.
So you want to stay under that threshold.
So like some heart rate training type stuff, huh?
Yes,
Maybe.
you could do that. Now with heart rate training, you would actually need to do the lactic test, where like you're pricking your finger and you're testing your lactic levels during a workout. So then you can identify the specific heart rate that you're producing lactic.
Can you do that around here, or?
We don't, because
Okay.
for me, I'm like, in order to do testing, you're losing time on training. So I'd rather err on the side of caution, back guys off on training, and run more. But there are places that can do it, and there's stuff you can get that where you can.
If you really want to take that deep dive and get.
If you want to get super.
But I did find the other day I was doing some zone runs. So I'm gonna keep my heart rate in like a zone 2, which is like 120 to 130. And around mile 3, I just got into a zone where I could just keep running. I realized I got like to a 930 is my pace, and my heart rate was still at that 130.
Yep. As
compared to just coming out, juicing it, or you get tired and you fighting your heart rate at like 156 the whole time.
Well, a lot of times, like I talked a lot about structuring the run and the race and the workout very specifically to where you don't start too hard. A lot of times people aren't warmed up effectively for whatever exercises they're doing. You got to give, particularly if you're doing like an Ironman type thing, well, you start producing that lactic acid too early, you're going to bonk real early.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that your body gets into that exercise state. You know, you got the vasodilation, increased venous return, so your muscles are pumping the blood back to your heart.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then also your body rediverts blood flow, so it restricts blood to unnecessary areas, and then it also increases the blood flow to the parts that you're using.
Okay, so this is a good segue into what I've always wanted to know this, and it's really, really weird, okay, like myself. And I've had this happen to me, I could not tell you how many times, but you take off running.
Okay.
And you get cruising along, get about, I'm just going to say 4 miles into a run.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it's like somebody just turns on a switch.
Turns on the switch.
I'm telling you, and it's like your heart rate just goes down. And I'm telling you, I mean, it's like the snap of a finger. Mm-hmm. It's like your heart rate goes down, your breathing just goes completely calm, everything in your body gets loose, and you just take off.
Yep.
And it's unbelievable of how fast I can run sometimes whenever I achieve this particular state that I'm talking about.
Yep.
I mean, it's I have no way to explain the way it makes me feel. I mean, I guess it's that runner's high that people talk about.
Yep, release of endorphins, and then your body
unreal,
and your body more fully gets into the exercise state when you're talking about 3 or 4 miles in. So you're talking maybe 20 odd, 30 odd minutes or whatever it is you're into the run. That's about the time your body needs to warm up.
Yeah, because I've always explained it to people like it's like everything in my body just dilates, you know, and just you know, and like whew, I can breathe.
That's exactly what happens.
Like everything.
Yep. Your body's going to facilitate the work easier. Just does the stuff.
I think you're blowing everybody's mind with the detail you put into running. My wife just posted running is so complicated.
But it's not. It's so simple.
It's so simple. Yeah.
Make it as complicated as you'd like to make it.
And so my buddy Josh, he wrote, so you hear that, Josh? You need to learn to slow down. He puts pedal to the metal. That's his philosophy. When he comes over, I could always beat him in a workout because he's gonna go all out fast.
Right? He says less blood equals less oxygen.
so he's gonna go all out. And I know every time, say, if you can keep that pace, more power to you. And he always comes back.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And you know it too, so like you don't sweat like come.
You don't pressure yourself.
So yeah.
So is that kind of one of the things you tell your guys, like when they go into the race, they run your race as compared to running somebody else's race?
Well, you know, a lot of times, teams, athletes, and athletes of certain coaches have certain tendencies. So there's certain teams where they go out really hard because some coaches they just tell them, you need to get out. You need to get out and get into it, and you need to start racing and competing from the beginning. But then, you know, I try to tell people, like, especially for the longer races, like a 10K, you know, which is, say, the NCAA regional championship distance. We usually kind of tend to hang back on something like that and then try to close hard at the end.
Yeah.
But then there's sometimes, like, given certain conditions where you got to get out a little bit harder, like if the course is a little muddy or at the same time, if you know, other teams have a hard time closing at the end, then you want to get out hard. So you want to give them a race plan that's specific to.
I have a good friend of mine that believes in the go out hard, just go out and get in front of everybody, then kind of kick back. That's how Richard James. That's his
Oh,
theory.
yeah, that's Rich is a whole
That's
nother
tough.
animal. So, yeah.
You're making it harder on yourself. Yeah, I mean, because like, especially like, unless you're actually trying to win and there's a specific reason for you to do that. Like, I agree with that. Just run your race and do the things you need to do. And wouldn't you rather finish? Wouldn't it? The mentality, the mindset that you have when you finish the race, if it's a marathon or Ironman, and you finish and you think, I think I could have gone a lot faster. Because then you're going to want to do it again to get faster. Whereas if you go out really hard early and you're dying and you're hanging on and you're cramping up and you barely make it to the finish line, you're going to finish that race and say, "Oh my God, what happened?"
Yeah.
Yep, that's
You
how
ain't
I
gonna
was
have
on my marathon. I was like, what the hell happened to me?
You felt prepared.
I felt prepared. Yeah.
But now in the marathon is a fickle friend, and because I also coach some professional type marathoners on the side as well, and like sometimes it's good to you and sometimes it's not. That's just how it goes. Yeah.
So taking a deeper dive, kind of briefly discuss like what is your methodology in your coaching methods? Like how do you break your coaching style down? What do you say you do differently that other people do? If you want it, I don't want you to give away any of your secrets.
Oh no, there's no secrets.
No secrets.
No, there's no secret. I spend a good amount of time trying to build a strong rapport with each individual athlete, and as much as possible, you try to individualize training while also grouping them up. And so there's certain days of the week that we don't meet, and that's where we more individualize certain things.
Okay.
Like, because, hey, just run 4 or 5 easy. Somebody that's run 40, 50, 60 miles a week, they might only have a short mileage a day, or they might just even be cross-training. Whereas, like, somebody that, if I got somebody run 100 miles, 110 miles a week, there's, in order to hit that number, you gotta put in work.
Put in work, yeah.
So, yeah, I just try to individualize, and I try to get to know each person. I spend a lot of time cultivating and relationships, and that relationship more often than not extends long after their time running in my programs. I still keep in touch with kids that ran at Butler University.
Okay.
I worked at Butler in 2005.
Yeah.
So whenever I go to the UK to recruit, I stay with former athletes that were at Butler.
Okay. Cool.
Like a long time ago.
Man.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can.
Well, you see us out there at the marsh, like, which pretty light. There's no barking at them and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I just know the camaraderie that you get in that community.
That's right. Yep.
It's that way everywhere you go.
That's right.
Cool. So in your recruiting, where's the most interesting place you've been so far? That you would say that you're going to that you actually got a runner from, or going to an attempt to get a runner.
Yeah, I go to the UK quite a bit, so it's going to be in the UK. It's just the UK. I've been all over. I've been to Scotland. I've been to like London. I've been to Wales. I've been to kind of all over there. I've been to. I didn't go recruiting, but I have been to continental Europe.
Okay. So UK is like your second home almost when it comes to it. Okay.
I go there quite a bit.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna get back to us civilian people, not you elite runners. So
it's all relatable.
It's all related with physiology.
Right.
So going to the next question, what makes a good runner? Is it something that's natural, or is it just like fixing your form, or what makes somebody a good runner? How can they become a better runner?
I don't think it's particularly with long distance running. I don't think it's anything necessarily physical. I think it is about your approach, your discipline. I think it's about your perspective, how you see the work. You got to see value in it. For example, so my boss, the director of track and field at Lamar, Trey Clark, he started running a couple of years ago. And when he started, he'd go out just for a couple miles. He was running like 11-minute miles. He'd come back in the office talking about, I started out like this and that. And, I closed and it was just under 11 minutes. Well, now he's going out and he's running like 10 miles at 9-minute pace or faster. And then we even go and we do workouts and, he'll close an 8-mile tempo run and he'll be running 6:45 for the last mile.
Wow.
Right.
Dang.
So like to go in like 2.5 years where he's running, 11-minute miles to now he's doing like long tempo runs, breaking 7 minutes, and for him, like say, what made him successful was that he is super, super disciplined.
Yeah.
And he's super dedicated. And I think that if everybody brings that perspective and mentality to anything, not just running, but if they bring that discipline, that consistency, I think they can see big gains. And I don't care if you're doing math.
Yeah, it's discipline and consistency. That's it. That's one of the two things me and Thad preach when we have our clients in training is like, you have to be consistent.
That's right.
If you're consistent, you could do, but you have to start and be consistent with it. You can't be 3 weeks and then you take off 4 weeks and then come back in 3 weeks and expect you to be back on the same level.
That's right.
I can just about guarantee you at a 99.99% that if you come to me in earnest and you show us, some consistency, you're going to get better.
100%.
I mean, that's with anything else. You don't have to see us, or it doesn't matter where you go.
It's not rocket science. It's consistency. Yeah.
I mean, it's the 10,000 hour rule, right? They talk about training to be an expert at something, and that's turned out not to be necessarily an accurate number necessarily, but 10,000 hours. I mean, you're just doing something a lot.
Yeah.
Who they said? I think what was that guy for Toronto that was a real good hitter? They said employed that, and that's when he started hitting good late on in his career. Last name Batista.
Oh, Dante Batista? Is that right?
No,
Jose Batista.
He got punched by the guy from the Rangers that one time.
Oh no, you're talking Robin Ventura.
No,
he
not
got punched by
Ventura.
Ventura's the one that
That beat up by Nolan Ryan. But anyway,
right,
I think it's Jose Batista.
You went to Oklahoma State. You're bringing that up on purpose. Robin Ventura. I know what you're doing.
No, I actually I didn't know that. But he kind of hold that whole thing like the 10,000 rule. Like that's when he realized he got better hitting late on. But you have to do things right. You can't just go out there and practice something wrong
For sure.
and expect to get better at it. So, all right, we're gonna do some rapid fire questions. No, it's not really. So I'll give you the thing, and I'll give you give us about a minute for each. So, top 5 errors you see in a common everyday runner, and how would you fix them?
Okay, so one, I think they go out too fast.
Too fast.
Too
Okay.
often. Like I was at the marsh this morning. I saw a dude he started. He was new to running, but he was starting off fast. So start off fast. They don't go long enough. They don't go consistent enough. Like you got to do it regularly, throughout the week.
Yeah.
Those are 3 mistakes. Oh, and then like I say, fueling afterwards. I think recovering afterwards is a big thing. Something like obviously, I think the enhanced recovery drink is really good and good for you, but like Gatorade, water, anything. So many people just like, no, I'm good. You got to put it in. No matter how much you don't feel like putting it in.
And I think that's my biggest thing because I do a lot of running fasted in the morning time because I fast at 11 o'clock every day. But I learned that was a mistake. So now I push my longer runs off until after I eat breakfast. Then I'll go running about 12:01. I feel a lot better.
Yep.
I don't feel like I'm forced.
See, there's a reason why there's some good breakfast places right by Cattail Marsh.
That's right.
I haven't ran Cattail Marsh in a long time.
Man, go.
Yeah.
Get out there.
We need to go out there.
It's good. And then maybe the other thing is maybe people probably wear their shoes a bit long. You get shoes only good for about 400 to 500 miles, but some people keep the same pair of shoes for 3 years.
Yeah, and it's mind blowing that people don't invest in good running shoes.
Right.
They're like, man, my feet hurt and I can't go run. My calves hurt, my knees hurt. And I say, well, have you got somebody go somewhere as simple as On the Run where they could just break down your foot structure and say, okay, these are the shoes you need, and let you go from there.
The Nike app has a deal on there where you can keep track of the miles
on your shoes.
Yep. Strava does it. Garmin can do it. There's a lot of things.
And I've actually learned to not do casual walking in my shoes because that wear them down too as well. So if I have my running shoes, I only wear them when I'm running.
Yep.
I don't just go to because you see people with these Brooks on and these Hokas. And they oh man, these feel so good, but then they go take off. I'm pretty sure you got 100 pounds of running shoes though. Yep. So, those things are expensive.
They can be.
A good pair of running shoes. I remember when I first did my marathon, I got hooked. I was like, man, what kind of shoes I get? I was trying to buy them all.
Oh yeah, you got to get the one that's right for your foot.
Your foot,
the way that your gait and your strike. You got to do.
So I think now I use ASIC Keanu gels, and I just got some New Balance, which is a real light shoe that I run in. Yep. So those are pretty good. I like them. Yep. So.
I like for me, I run in the Brooks Ghost. The team runs. We're both Under Armour and Brooks, so
Okay.
Yeah, I run in the Pure Flows.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the Brooks Pure Flows.
Yep. They're great.
I've been running those things for years.
What do you think about those new Nike shoes that they banned? Did they ban them with those carbon plates in them?
Yeah, no, that is a big contentious thing in running. So like I say, some of the professional type athletes I run in, like it's key for them. Like, there is a definite benefit, I believe.
So did they take the plate out the shoes?
Oh no.
So how many plates are in them? Is it 2 or?
I don't know. I don't know how the shoe's constructed, but I know that with the carbon plate in it now, it's not just Nike that's making them. They're all making them. So like, yeah, Saucony has a pair. Hoka. They all.
So what does the plate do?
So it adds a little bit of it's a solid plate, so it kind of gives a little spring in there. It's not a spring. I don't want you guys thinking like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, but it's just that little extra. If you're an elite runner, it gives you that extra oomph.
Yep.
Because I heard when Nike came out with it, they couldn't use them because they have to live, not to have a competitive advantage, everybody had to give time for everybody else to have to make it as well.
I guess it would work real good against your foot fatigue and stuff too from that arch.
Yep, some of it. Yep. I mean, yeah,
That's
and I
interesting.
don't know the chronology of how it all came about, but I know that a lot of my athletes, like they're only good for a couple of races.
Really?
Yeah, you can't put miles on those things.
So I was even how regular folks going out there buying those shoes.
$300 shoes.
So you can only use $200 shoes for like a couple of races, or
Like maybe 2 marathons.
really? Man, that's,
I'm good in my $100.
yeah. I'll keep
$120 book.
I'll keep. When I paid $150, I felt like I was doing something.
Right.
So I feel like I'm on
$150?
top of the world.
Well, in Lance Armstrong's, his book, it's not about the bike. Well, some think it is about the shoe.
Yeah. All right, so backtracking, you said don't go out too fast,
Yep.
proper nutrition,
That's right.
proper shoes,
Yep. Do it more consistently.
do it more consistently. What was the fifth one?
Yeah, I don't even remember now.
There wasn't one.
Yeah, maybe there wasn't one.
Okay, so now you got to give us a fifth one.
Yeah. What do people do? People not do? I don't know. I think we'll just stick with 4.
Yeah,
Four, yeah, we'll
four's
stick with
good.
4.
Four's
4 is
good.
good enough. 4 is good enough. 4 is good enough.
Ernest setting the bar high.
Hey, man, hey, man, I like to. So, I think we're coming to the point of the show where we kind of getting to the end point, and I always like to put my guests on the spot at the end. I don't give this question a pre-question. So, but first and foremost, let me give you a chance to share your social media handles. How can people get in touch with you if they have any questions, or where can they find you at?
Yeah, so I'm really simple. I'm just Tony Houchin.
Tony Houchin.
Yep,
Okay.
Tony Houchin on Instagram. That's probably the best place, and Facebook.
Okay.
Those are some easy places. And obviously, my email at Lamar, if you want to email me at ahouchin at lamar.edu. Because I do some personal coaching on the side.
Okay. So if someone wants to get into some personal coaching,
right.
just send you an email.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
And I do a lot of that through correspondence. Like,
Okay.
what we do is not a high technique driven pursuit. So like a lot of what we do is we just kind of, I write the workouts. Like I coach a woman, I coach 2 women in the UK right now. One was British national champion in the marathon this past summer. It was a small field, but she went and she won the British Marathon Championships. I had another woman who was, and she's a Lamar alum, Verity Ockenden. So the British Marathon champion was Natasha Cockram. The Lamar alum is Verity Ockenden, and she was the British silver medalist in the 5K and the indoor 3K. But then I also coach through correspondence Andrea Pomeranski, and she ran the Olympic trials in the marathon. And I didn't coach her to that, but I started coaching her just after that.
Okay, cool.
She's killing it. So.
Okay, good stuff. And where can people get these drinks again? These good drinks.
Yep, online, ersportsdrink.com. They have, like I say, they have a Twitter, they have an Instagram. It's direct to consumer online right now. I think you can find it on Amazon though.
We're gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff.
All right, man. So now comes to the good part.
Here we go.
So, what would be Tony's words of wisdom that you'd like to leave the people?
Oh, man. I don't know how many words of wisdom I got, but yeah, like we were saying beforehand, I think long distance running in particular is an activity that you can take with you throughout the course of your life, and it's something that's going to increase the longevity of your life and the quality of your life. And I think more people should get out there and do it, and don't be afraid to do it. And don't be too proud to get out there and do it poorly at first. You know, if you go out and you do it slow, so what?
And they're going to be surprised at the people they meet when they get out there, too.
That's great. Like, that's how we met,
Right.
you know, and through this community, and we would see each other regularly and just say, hey, and next thing you know.
Spark up a conversation.
Boom.
That's how Thad knows everybody. He literally knows everybody in Southeast Texas
Right.
through running. It's like, say, how you know that person? Oh, you know, I met him when we was running. Oh, we used to run catch-up march together. So.
I know. He's the fittest guy I know in Beaumont, man.
I
When
know,
see
yeah.
him, I felt bad about myself.
running down. He runs down Dowling with his shirt off for a reason. So
You put in that work, you want to show it off.
that's
so.
true. That's true. Well,
Yeah.
Tony, man, I
Y'all are
appreciate you joining the show. I think to the audience, you open up a lot of eyes to actually running could be simple, but it is some complexities in there to make yourself a better runner. You like you say, we tell people to just get out there and go run, but take the time to invest in get some good information, getting the right equipment, right technique, and stay consistent with it. So
Yep, that's right. Yep, get out the door. Keep it simple. Like, you don't need to be inundated with too much technical information. Just start putting one foot in front of the other, and you'll be all right.
There you go. Appreciate it. So thank you guys for listening to the show. You can follow us at the Masters of Fitness Podcast at MOF Podcast on Instagram. I am EJ_Doyle on Instagram, and you are
At King Thad.
at King Thad. You could also listen to the show on Spotify, Apple, Google Play, YouTube, everywhere you listen to a podcast, you can find us. So make sure you download the show with Tony. Give us a comment, give us a like, and thank you for joining the show. And we appreciate you guys being here
Thanks
with
for
us
coming
today.
out, Tony.
Thanks for
so much
coming
for
out,
having
Tony.
me. I'm
Thank
very
you,
flattered.
appreciate it. It was a good discussion. I told you it was gonna go by quick.
Yeah, it did. It
Go by quick. So,
Yeah.
all right, man. Thank you for joining us.
Cue the cool drop.
Drop.